All right, welcome. See, I've got this crazy shirt on today. It's into summertime, but I got one of my pretty successful clients, Sarah, and a good friend now with me. Hey, Sarah, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Doing great.
Very well. Thank you.
My phone,
Siri?
yeah, my phone thought I said Siri. That's cool. I always joke that if I had a daughter, name her Siri, and then every time someone talks to her, then the phones all go off. But
Aw.
anyways, that on par for today. It took us 30 minutes to get this video going because Skype sucks, so we switched to Zoom. But anyways, here we are, and we are. The main point of this video is to. My plan is to kind of show you what, or allow my clients to tell you like what they're doing that's worked out. Because you've been with me what, like 3 or 4 months now?
A while.
Yeah, it's been a while. And she's tried out, or she's got my chat bot. She's got advertising. She's on my program. So this will give you kind of an opportunity to see what she's doing to kind of optimize her results and what she's doing to grow. Because all right, go ahead and tell us about yourself. But I know you've got multiple employees now, right?
Yes. So my name is Sarah. I'm the owner of Beauty Aesthetics and Brow Co. I'm located on Richmond Avenue in Houston, Texas. I do have girls that work under me. They're girls that I've trained myself. Nancy, Karen, Caitlin, and then my husband I'm actually starting to train. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, the reason I bring that up is because you haven't been in business that long and you're growing super fast. So
yeah, I think I moved into this studio in February, the end of February, and I hired you the following month, so March. Yeah.
awesome. So yeah, congrats on growing that fast because I've seen you that I've had other clients in Houston and I see that like it's a tough market because in big cities you're competing not only with other artists but you're competing for attention between all the other businesses running ads there. So nice job on that.
Thank you.
I guess starting out at that point, like if you could look back on February or even just talking to all the people who may have just started, they just got trained, or like, now I want clients. How do I get clients? What would be your best advice to them?
So I do this actually as I've brought on each girl that works under me. I do it probably a month and a half in between. And the way that we start out is we create a Facebook profile, which is something new. At first, I didn't do that with my first girl. And so we've done this in the past month, actually, and this is how we've grown so much, is that we create a new Facebook profile. We run a special for them that's going to be 10 free clients. Now, whether they actually book themselves 10 clients or they book 20 free clients, it doesn't matter. What we're looking for is the attention on Facebook. After they do that, we post a sell for $25 for 10 clients. After that, we post a sell for 50, and we keep bumping up 25. We've been doing this since the end of July. It's almost the middle of August. By the end of August, they'll be charging $200 a client, and they are booked out. I have actually both of them in the room behind me working, and they're booked with clients all day on a Sunday. So
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. I see such a wide variety, and I love your strategy of starting low and building because I see too many people, they try to start at a very high price because that's what they've been told to do. And then,
I did this. I started at a high price and it sucked. That's why I tell them they get bummed out about having to take clients for free. I'm like, one, you need a portfolio. Two, I've been there and I've done that. If you want success, listen to what I have to say.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, if you're only getting one client a week, or I know some people that tell me they get less than that, it gets very disappointing very quickly because you're also paying rent, you're paying all this other stuff, and you've paid for training, you've paid for supplies, and so now you're not making, you don't have any cash flow, and so.
Right.
I love starting what you're doing with your girls and starting lower, building their confidence, building their skills, getting the portfolio. Now all those people are going to go spread word of mouth. They're going to give you Facebook reviews. They're going to grow your business a lot quicker than if you're just sitting at a high price waiting for people to come to you.
Right. And not only that, but when we do run these specials for so low on Facebook, I'm sharing them on my page, they're sharing them, and we're getting lots of exposure. So just from that trickling down from the girls, my page has kind of robust,
Right. So have you noticed any kind of, because what people are probably going to think is like, if you're always doing a special, then how do you get to full price? Have you found kind of a balance between all that yet?
I do a lot of experimenting, and you know this. So I read the people that are like, my aunt, even, she owns a Dolce Blue in Austin in the Domain, and it's a lash studio, and she's like, Sarah, you can't just have specials all the time. You have to charge full price. I'm like, I will run the specials until the day I die because specials work. I think some clients or some artists think that if you run specials all the time like her, that you're not going to get as many clients, and that's just how her business works. That's not how mine works. So far I have a set price at which I'm about to bump up at 550 to 650 depending on what type of eyebrow they get. And I advertise that this is the discount you're getting. Take advantage of it now.
Right.
So, and even with the girls that we're doing the $25, $75 microblading, we're telling these people the goal for the end of August is going to be $200, and it's not ever going to be cheaper than that. Yes, she's a student. And yes, this is the last option you will ever have for this cheap of microblading. And they're actually producing good work too. So that's the good thing, is that these people aren't just coming in here for free, $75, whatever it might be, and getting shit work. Sorry, I probably shouldn't. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, so I guess another fear that a lot of people have is if you're, they say discount clients can be the worst. And I know Groupon has that reputation, and I agree with, I've heard a lot of horror stories. So how do you filter out the people that might seem like not the best clients?
Even if it's a discounted price, usually what my discount is $300. That's still a lot of money. Yeah. The people I have problems with, and we have just actually learned how to execute these problems, is the free clients. The free clients are the ones that don't show up on time. They're the ones that are going to moan and groan about having to be a little bit late, or that we might be, the girls starting out, they're not dead set on 2.5 hours finishing a client. Sometimes it might take them 3.5. And so we've started making people put down credit card information, and we tell them if you don't show up for your appointment, which was the big thing we were having a problem with, is people not showing up, then you're going to be charged. And then on top of that $25 fee, you're going to have to pay for your next appointment if you want one. And we're very upfront, so that's helped us filter out a lot. And I don't, even with the specials that I run, and with my regular price being as high as it is, and then if I do take someone at $300, I don't have problems with anyone. Maybe once or twice. And a lot of these people I can sense when they're messaging me, and I've gotten to where I'm so booked that I can say, I'm sorry, you're not going to talk to me like that. I'm not going to take you as a client. And of course, that's not exactly what I say to them, but I find a way for them not to, because you can kind of tell the way people talk. And I think too, a part of it is that I'm younger, and I have a lot of older, bossy potential clients that try to tell me when they're going to come in. I had a woman the other day, she was like, it's just unacceptable that I can't get in for 2 more weeks. You need to move some people around. I was like, I'm sorry, like, here's what I have available. If you want it, you can have it. But they paid $100 deposits just like you're going to. So I'm not moving them.
Yeah, so I think that's a very valid point, that even though you might be offering a discount or a special, you're also very firm with people. I see people, a lot of clients get in the habit of trying to accommodate everybody too much, and then people are just walking all over them. So yeah, you got to be firm also, and stick to your policies, have good contracts, all that.
And of course, when I talk to my clients, I don't talk this way. With that one particular, I told her, I'm sorry. I'm so excited and ecstatic that I'm able to book out 2 weeks in advance. I'm sorry this is like such a problem for you. Here's what I can do. I can offer you a free under eye mask or something like that. I always, it hurts my heart to have to play the nice guy all the time, but I've gotten pretty good at it, and it usually works for me. It works out in my favor. Yeah,
because I mean, as you mentioned, the older clients, I'm assuming a lot of them are retired or don't have as much to do, and so they want something now, or they want to feel, I mean, everybody wants to feel like $1 million. So yeah, treat all your potential clients like $1 million, but also you've got to find the line there, like you said.
Right.
So as far as like, another thing I noticed is your Instagram. You have, what is it, your personal profiles in Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm. I market on both personal Facebook and personal Instagram. So yes, okay. But I have business pages too.
Okay. So what kind of tips do you have for Instagram? Because I have a lot of clients that struggle with like what to post, how to get clients on Instagram, stuff like that.
So post a lot. Anything you can post it. I try to post to Instagram, if not 3 to 12, 15 times a day. And that's not just on my timeline, that's on my story as well. Before, I wasn't booking any clients on Instagram. I wasn't getting any interested clients on Instagram. And that's been one of my goals recently, is to try to build my Instagram up. And so in the past week or so, I've gotten 1 or 2 bookings, which is, I mean, not very many, but it's still, I'm still in the beginning stages. So I haven't broken any codes to Instagram, except that posting a lot has helped me. So.
And do you geotag like your location every post?
I actually don't. I don't do hashtags or anything. And I'm about to, that's one of my goals. I need to sit down and figure out what hashtags I want to use. And I'm going to go through and edit all of my photos, add those hashtags, and then my new ones I put on. And I don't know anything about geotags. I think that's where it says like, oh, Houston, Texas on the thing. Like a
Yeah. I guess a quick teaching moment. What I learned back in January is that with the new Instagram changes, if you go back in and add hashtags, then it's not going to be the same effect as if you had posted with hashtags. So just watch out for that.
So don't waste my time.
Right. Okay. And then the other thing I see with hashtags with local businesses is like, let's say you do a microblading hashtag. Well, somebody across the world is probably going to see that. But what are the chances of someone actually seeing it in Houston? Probably pretty low.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's where
actually, I just had a client the other day. I just changed my name to Microblading Houston. It was in this book I was reading about why Instagram names are so important. And I try to ask all my clients, how did you hear about me? She's like, I just searched Instagram for microblading in Houston and yours was the first one to pop up. I was like, really? Nice. Awesome. I'm glad it's working.
Yeah, I've seen that work for my aunt also because she's microblading Alabama. So and Alabama's a small enough state to where it's she can still get a lot of people like that just from the name itself. All right, cool. So you've also gone through my PMU marketing program quite a bit. We were talking about it earlier, how you go through snippets at a time or you listen to it in the car or something like that. Can you kind of talk about like what you've learned from that?
A lot. It's helped me a lot with my Facebook, my business page. Changing my buttons, I feel like has made a big difference. Responding to customers, stories, Facebook stories. I every time I post my story now, I'm like, this is because of Jake, you know, because I have always, I knew I had access to stories on Facebook, but I just wasn't, you know, using it. I wasn't, definitely a lot for my Facebook. I feel like I've, and that's another reason why I've been able to grow so much and like how I can edit not edit isn't the word I should use. Like the wording, verbiage that I should use under my posts and things like that. A lot of the stuff in your courses are things that I already knew. It's just that I need a refresher and I need to actually implement them. Just like the story, for instance, like I knew about the stories, but I wasn't implementing it and I wasn't geared to implement it until I heard you talk about it and why it was important.
Yeah, that was kind of my goal with the program is that like a lot of the stuff some people will know already. Some things like people won't have a clue about. So I made it inclusive for people that have no idea about social media to people who, even like you, who already knew a lot of this stuff, but being able to put this together into an action plan and a strategy is really where it comes down to. Because like knowledge is not power, applied knowledge is power. So actually going in and like you said, posting every day, taking action, that's where the success and the people who are not successful, that's a big difference there. So cool. We talked about the program, and then you're also a chatbot client. So what is like a lot of people ask me like, what is a chatbot? What does it do for me? They don't really see the value also because they're not getting a lot of messages on Facebook, which I understand. So what have you seen the chatbot do for you?
It filters out the clients that aren't serious because it answers all the questions they're going to have. So it gets rid of the repetition also, which is amazing because I would have all my responses saved in my notes on my phone. And when people would ask me messages, I would have to close that app, open the notes app, copy them, and then paste into the new. And I just felt like that was taking so much time out of my day. And I was trying to do that in between clients where I couldn't focus on new things like my Instagram or making sure that I posted my Facebook or updating both of those social media platforms. So it's a huge time saver. And then, like I said, it filters out the people that aren't serious. Like I before used to get so many leads about I'm interested and they ask all these questions and then they end up not booking. And do those clients maybe book a couple months or a couple weeks or a couple months later? Yeah. And it's good to actually have them in that system. For example, with that message that we sent out the other day with the chatbot, I mean, I got hundreds of leads off that. Or I had hundreds of leads and I followed up with them, and that turned into a bunch of bookings for people that have been talking with me about it or talking with my chatbot about it and not taking any action. So I definitely a money saver, definitely a time saver. I couldn't imagine myself not having a chatbot now.
Yeah, that mass follow up is so vital because when you have like hundreds and hundreds of people in your inbox, it's just there's no way you can go through and message every single person like that.
Let me tell you, on my personal Facebook, where I used to get a lot of my clients, I have all my messengers just clients. I used to sit down, and I kid you not, for 6 hours at a time to send out mass messages like that. Because it's one at a time. You don't get to pick a whole group and press send. Like So like, I am so thankful. I'm so thankful because I would have to plan, okay, on Saturday, I'm going to sit outside on the patio 5 to 6 hours and message these people about the special next week. So.
Yeah, that's the follow-up is probably the big disconnect I see with clients is like, you can't just go back and send somebody one message and expect them to come back to book automatically. Like there's a couple people that have heard of microblading and are ready to book now. But even my own clients, like most of my clients tell me that they've watched me for 2 to 3 months and contacted me 2 to 3 months ago before they decide to sign on with me, because people need time to think about it. Sometimes it's just not right for them. Like, I mean, how many times have you thought about buying something and then you weren't in the mood to buy it, and then a week later you decided to go ahead and go for it? Same thing with microblading.
I mean, it was just like that with before I hired you. I messaged you several times, I feel like, and I was like, next month, this is what I set out a budget. I'm a planner, so I budgeted for you, but I knew I was bothering you and following every little step you made before to try to pick up as much information as I could. But yeah, I understand. And I bother people. I'm not afraid to, like, if you haven't booked with me, I'm gonna keep messaging you until you tell me you want to unsubscribe, because they turn into bookings. And at first I was so nervous to bother people, and now I'm like geared for it,
Oh yeah. And like, that's the thing I've seen is like, if you're really bothering someone, they'll tell you to F off. They'll let you know.
And they're nice. Usually people are nice about it. They say, can you please remove me from the mail or whatever it might be. And then on my emails too, I send out mass emails to all my clients. I have probably 600 now that I've collected, so I can message them about either whether it be existing clients or just leads that I've gotten from emails. And the people will nicely ask to unsubscribe.
Yeah, and I mean, that really comes down to the difference between, because like when your ads are going out, it's mostly cold traffic, which means people have never heard of you. And then as they're in your inbox, you're turning them into what's called warm traffic, where they've heard about you, they're starting to learn a little bit and all that, and then eventually they'll get hot enough to book. Sometimes like it just takes certain people longer to cook before they're ready to book.
And you'll get a lot of people too that they know about microblading, but they're scared. And so my thing that I'm doing now, and which is really starting to help, is I say, well, we offer free consults. Why don't you come in for a consult? 90% of the time, those people will book once they come in for a consult. So if you're not doing that already.
Yeah. And that's another thing I was going to mention is like, do you require a deposit or anything for a consult?
No, consults are free, but I can take them in between my clients. There's not a whole lot. I don't do the pre-draw or anything. I know some people for consults, that's what is included in theirs. My consults usually are for people that are just nervous. They want to see the tool. They want to know how it's going to go down. And it's like a 10, 15-minute conversation, and they're booked. And I tell them before they come in, I say, I'm going to schedule you between clients. I might be running a little late when you come in. Just have a seat in the waiting room, and I'll be with you as soon as I can. And I don't ever have anyone complain. I mean, I wouldn't imagine that they would book an appointment if they had a problem with that. So,
right. Are there any other tips that you would share with yourself back in February that you wish you had known?
How important social media is. I feel like I heard a lot of veterans talk about word of mouth, and word of mouth is important, but social media is more important. This isn't a service that people like eyelashes or hair that they're going to be coming back, every 6 weeks or so. Yes, they're going to have to come back for a touch up and a color blast, but you have to constantly be hustling and looking for your new clientele.
Yeah, so that's called a high churn rate, so that people, like, they're coming in and then you're not going to see them, besides the touch-up, you're not going to see them again for another year. So you've constantly got to be promoting, getting new people, getting the word out. If you, like, too many people I see, they get booked up and they're like, oh, I'm good, I'm booked up for a few weeks. They stop promoting, they stop hustling. And then when that 3 or 4 weeks comes around, they're like, oh, what do? I don't have any clients, and I also can't afford to do ads now. And so don't get
even for a couple of days, I was talking about with Instagram posting a lot. So on my personal profile, I don't get to see this data, but on my business, if you go just to your homepage or your profile page, in the top, it'll tell you how many visitors you've had in the last week. Usually I try to keep that number between 300 and 400. When I went on vacation and I didn't post at all, it dropped down to 70. And so wow. I wasn't really getting, So that kind of was a reality check for me. Like, okay, even if you're on vacation, you have to still stick to posting every single day. And this was like, I went maybe 2 days without posting on Instagram. And I feel the same way about Facebook too. I will say, don't post to Facebook as often as you do Instagram.
Right.
But
yeah, Instagram, like you said, I think you should post more. Facebook, if you post more than once a day and people aren't engaging with it, then less and less people will be reached. And so Facebook, I tell people about 5 times a week, unless you have like live videos, really good content and stuff, then you can post a little bit more. But if you don't have a lot of that, and speaking of videos, that's what I was going to ask you. I saw where you've been doing videos like educational videos, stuff like that. How have you seen that affect your business?
People eat that up. Even people that don't book with me, they're like, thank you so much. They're thankful for the warnings. They're thankful to know what to look out for, because one of the videos that I did that was really popular is questions you should be asking your microblading artist. And then the people that do book with me, they're like, because you're educated. That's why they like to see that I know what I'm talking about. They like to see that I know what I'm doing, that I'm not just some person in a nail salon that learned 2 weeks ago. So people eat it up. I haven't been very good about creating my videos, but that is my goal. I'm actually going to try to make another one today.
Nice.
So, but when I do post them, they're huge hits. They're good successes. And I still use them. I have them in my saved responses for people that are kind of on the fence about if they want to do it or not, or people that question my price too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, people that question my price. I'm like, well, here's a video that I created. Let me know if this helps.
Yeah, and I actually posted about this recently. When people question your price, what they're really thinking, or they're not going to say this, but they're really questioning, like, 1, is the service valuable? 2, can they trust you? And 3, are you the company that they want to go with? And so showing them that value and building that trust and stuff can all be accomplished through video. That's why I'm like, my new goal for the next few months is to produce more and more video content. That's why I'm doing this video right here, because people, like even myself, when I'm trying to learn something or I'm trying to pick up some kind of new technique or grow my business, first thing I do is go to YouTube or watch videos. Like I don't have that much time, so reading a book or something like that is just not practical for me all the time, where I can watch a 10-15 minute video while I'm laying in bed. It's a lot easier.
When I first started learning about you, I went and watched all your videos multiple times. Even from the couple girls that you did videos like this with, I learned a lot about follow-ups, especially. So. And
here you are. You get yeah, like YouTube. Have you started a YouTube channel?
I haven't. It's not on my list of things to do just yet. I feel like that would be like, let me accomplish what I need to. Let me be perfect at it, and then I'll move on. So
yeah. And the good thing about these Facebook videos that you're making is you can actually just download them and upload them to YouTube. And so whenever you do decide to make a YouTube channel, it probably wouldn't take that long to get those videos up.
Right.
I kind of started doing the same thing, because I was surprised. I got an email that like my YouTube channel got a lot more minutes watched than I expected. And I've had multiple people say they heard about me on YouTube. And so I think it's a valuable tool that oftentimes we undervalue.
Mm-hmm. I recently saw Instagram TV, and that has kind of put a light bulb off, and I'm like, I'm going to start with the YouTube and the Instagram being a little bit more serious and dedicating a certain amount of hours a week to that.
Yeah, I think I haven't used Instagram TV yet, but I'm going to. I think the time limit there is it's got to be a vertical video, and then it's got to be like 10 minutes or less, I believe. Mm-hmm. So
I noticed that a lot of the artists that I do follow that have used the Instagram TV, that their videos get cut off at the end, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and so like making an Instagram only or Instagram TV only content is really what they're shooting for, I think. And if I had to guess based on history, and I got this a little bit from watching someone else, but they were talking about how Instagram TV, they're trying to kind of compete with YouTube, and so I think they're going to reward people for using Instagram TV. So it's going to be underpriced attention and undervalued attention, and you're going to be able to get a lot of value out of that. So I think Instagram TV is a good move for the next couple months. Awesome. Well, we're almost out of time. Thank you for coming on. And I'm trying to think of one last closing question for you that if everyone was watching would want to know. I would say, so you're in a big city. You're got a lot of competition, because a lot of people are in the same boat. They're in a lot of competition. What would you say the day-to-day, the number one thing to do is to stand out?
Stay consistent. Definitely stay consistent and don't give up. I have days where I'm just like, I'm packed with clients, and I know that I need to post. I know that I need to push some content. I know that I have clients I need to respond to. And I get a little bit overwhelmed, but I go sit in the kitchen or in one of the closets, and I put my timer on for 5-10 minutes whenever my clients are numbing, or if I just have a quick second, and I try to accomplish that list as fast as I can, make sure that it gets done. I don't just tell myself, okay, later I'll do it, because I'm a huge procrastinator. I know that about myself. And I think the only reason that I've been able to be successful in that part of the business is because I've seen it work. Yep. I like immediate results. I like that instant gratification. And I feel when I'm working hard with the social media and I'm seeing the results, it makes it a whole lot easier for me to set aside those 10 or 15 minutes or those couple hours that I might have to schedule, because it's going to be worth it.
Awesome. Great answer. Consistency is key. So don't just make one video. Don't just make one post and expect amazing things to happen. You've got to stay consistent for people to find you. Awesome. If someone had to choose, so let's say I'm a new artist, I want to learn how to get clients, but I have a limited budget because I spent all my money on training. If they're going to sign up with me, should they do chatbot, PMU marketing program, or ads first?
I want to say ads, because that's what I did first.
Yep.
But like I said, I budgeted for that. If I was kind of on a tight budget, I might have went with the marketing videos first that you provide, because that would help me kind of set myself up for success before I started paying for ads. I think that might be what I'd do first, because too, the other thing, and I'm going through this with my girls, is that they don't have a lot of followers yet. So I'm on this business page that has 20 followers and I'm paying for ads. No one's really seeing it. So I think I would go with the videos, then I would do the ads, and then the chatbot.
Yep. I think, and yeah, that's a good order, because like, honestly, the main reason I made the program is because I used to only do advertising. I found myself repeating myself over and over again. So I was like, well, I should just put this on video so people have access to it. So awesome. Well, have a great day in Houston. And I really appreciate you taking the time, because I know you are busy and you have a lot of stuff going on today. So thanks for bearing with me while we try to figure out Skype. But do you have any closing remarks for everyone?
You're going to fail, and it's okay. Just keep going. If you weren't failing, you were doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, that's totally right. So, all right, cool. Well, thanks for being on with this, and I will stay in contact with you.
Sweet. All right.
Have a great day.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.
All right, bye.